65 years old isn't too late for dropshipping. In this video, I actually talked to one of my viewers that is 65 years old and he's sort of working on dropshipping and e-commerce over the past year, and now he's sort of delving seriously into it, and we jump on a call and we'll see how we can help him out. It's pretty crazy because despite Murray's age, he has a lot of e-commerce experience. He set up his store, but we really go over the little things such as product research, Facebook testing strategy, and I sort of help him when it comes to really succeeding in dropshipping and starting on the right foot. So I highly recommend anyone that is in any position, because this is a very motivating interview. Just seeing someone at 65 years old have so much determination to make dropshipping works and sort of want more out of his future life now that he's back on shore after sort of working over the past few decades, and he wants to work at home through e-commerce. So this is a pretty not only knowledgeable and educational interview, but very inspiring because he asks very good questions that I think a lot of people and a lot of my viewers would be able to relate to when it comes to how to do product research in 2020, how to test your products, what type of stores you set up. Murray asks a lot of educated questions that everyone's going to get value from. Hope you guys enjoy the interview.
My name's Murray Sharp. I'm 64 years old. I'm a civil engineer by trade, and I've worked in the offshore industry basically all my life. The last 5 years I've been actively working on a project in Malaysia, which has seen me travelling to Indonesia, UAE and China, as well as Malaysia and Sarawak. And now I've finished that project, and I'm looking at furthering my expertise in e-commerce and try and build up a store or a number of stores that will then allow me to continue and work from home, continue my travel, and generally, be able to get the free time to do the things that I want to do now. I should probably be retiring, but too early to retire, so I'd like to continue with those activities. And I see e-commerce as the avenue to get me into those activities.
That's awesome. How long have you been sort of following the YouTube channel?
I've been following your YouTube channel from your very early days, from even before you went to Thailand on your first trip. Then you went quiet for a long time, and then you fronted up again and come back in a bigger way. So you've been there on my favourites list there for a while, Andy. Certainly, the content that you're putting out now is a lot more in depth and a lot more informative than the early days. But your growth has been phenomenal, and I'd like to share some of that growth, get on the back of that growth, and learn myself.
Awesome, Murray. And what's your sort of current level when it comes to e-commerce? So you got your store set up already, you've launched 2 stores now. Tell a bit about where you're at when it comes to the e-com side of things.
Okay, I got into e-com. Basically, my wife got the idea. She saw Shopify, and she thought about creating a store, but she didn't know how to go about creating the store. I had a little bit of spare time, so I created a store for her. We selected products, put it in the store, and then I handed it over to her to do some refining, and she was pretty slow with the refining, and still today the store's not up and running, but I couldn't wait that long, so I thought I'll make my own store. So I made a store, and basically it's a niche store for backpacks called leisurepacks.com, and then I just started slowly promoting that store and getting a few sales, but not really pushing it too much. I'll spend more time refining the store, making it look a little bit better, and for the last year or so I've really not pushed the store at all, because I really haven't had time or a good internet connection to be able to follow through. I've really realised that the quality of the internet connection has to be good. I've been in locations where I haven't had good quality on the internet connection. I've missed the internet for a couple of days, and I just can't run a business like that. But now I'm back in Australia, where I've got good internet access, and I'll be able to pick up the ball and run with it quite well.
That's awesome. And where do you sort of plan, or where do you want to take this business to?
Basically generate a business that'll become a replacement for my previous employment, which has been contract work in the offshore industry. I should be able to run that business from home. Could be a number of shops, whether they be niche stores, general stores, one product stores. I'd like to start small and just grow, get the business running with VAs, as per the examples that I see on the internet. I see a lot of younger people doing this, and there's no reason why I can't do this as well. I've got basically the skills and the determination to follow the path I want to go, and to generate the additional income, and have eventually the free time to enjoy that income as I go forward.
That's awesome. And yeah, let's jump straight into sort of what's stopping you from getting there and all your current issues, Murray.
Okay, well, the biggest thing at the moment that I see going forward, my leisure pack store is more of it's a niche store, and it probably won't be a big money earner. So I've got to change what I'm doing at the moment. And from what I've been looking at recently, I need to do product testing. So I need to do product research, do product testing, so it'd be multiple product testing, and in a small general store I'm thinking about, and then when I have a successful product, I can change that into a one product store and promote it to a higher level. And similar to what you've done recently on your 30K in 30 days, that was basically a one product that you grew into a good seller, and then you expanded the store. So that type of thing I'd be looking at doing going forward.
Awesome, Murray. And I think you're definitely right. Right now in 2020, the best approach is having a general store where you could test 2 to 3 products every single day consistently, and then you just have that store set aside just for product testing. Now, one in every, say, 20-30 products would be a big winner. They could then go ahead and scale. Once you're able to sort of scale that product to the first few $1,000s within your general store, you would then transition that product into a one product store that you just sort of have running on the side, automated, and you sort of scale that up. While that's scaling, you want to continue testing 2 to 3 products every single day on your general store. So your goal is to probably find a winning product and create a one product store every month at least, and just have constant one product stores. And each one product store might last you 2 or 3 months, and then eventually you'll have a team of VAs that can manage 2-3 one product stores at once, and then they could hire another virtual assistant to then go ahead and train, and you could give that secondary virtual assistant a whole store to manage. And that's sort of the blueprint.
That's good. That's the sort of thing that I want to do, basically to develop a blueprint and then follow that blueprint through. The first part of that blueprint is the testing of the 2 to 3 products per day that you mentioned there. And one of the important questions I've got for you is, where do you see product research methods going for 2020? You've got your product research mastery course that is basically a complete list of methods available, or that were available at the time. Now, new methods may have come onto the market. Where do you see the most effective for product research to kick off 2020, Andy?
So when it comes to product research, 2020 is going to be like very difficult for people who just copy and steal other existing tested products. So what I now teach is I only want my students to find brand new products that have not been tested. And we do that just being going through AliExpress. Strategy one would be using the home page, where if you scroll down, you have this sort of never-ending list of sort of trendy new products that are on AliExpress, and you're going to look for products that you have not seen on Ecom Hunt, you have not seen on Dropship Spy, you have not seen on Facebook, products that are brand new, and that's where you're going to be able to make money in 2020. There's other strategies such as searching keywords such as cat, dogs, dropshipping, interesting, wow, quirky, and then when you search those keywords on AliExpress, it'll show you a bunch of very interesting products, and then you just scroll through that, as well as use the sort by new, which allows you to find all the new products within certain different categories. And that's a third strategy, is going to different subcategories within AliExpress, going to all the, say, you go to dogs toys, and you get a list of all the dog toys, and it'll sort of by new. You'll see all the new products that are being uploaded to AliExpress every single day, because you want to be testing new products that have not been tested, and that's how you really succeed in 2020.
Yeah, okay, that's good. I've got them jotted down here, so I'll start to have a look at that. Now, the products from AliExpress that I select, to narrow down the range to make them more successful, I think that I'd need to limit them to e-packet products, to products that have a profit margin or potential profit margin of greater than $10, and selling price of 3 times the purchase price. Is that a good basis to follow, or would you suggest something different?
Correct. So when I look at a product, I would only pick products that have a profit margin of roughly 15 to 20 USD. So when I look at it, I need to make sure it has a high perceived value, and it's high enough for me to be able to sell it at $15 to $20 profit margin. When it comes to country, when I first go through testing phase, I just sort of look for interesting products. I don't really look at what countries it can ship to, because that's sort of something that you can solve. If the product does become a winner, you could actually go ahead and talk to the supplier and get them to ship to any country you need, or any e-packet country around the world. So shipping, that's not an issue. I'm just looking for very interesting products. And those are 2 criteria. And the third criteria is you do just want to look for something that's sort of very interesting, solves a problem, and that sort of will really cause sort of virality, meaning people would tag their friends. This is something that people just need. And then obviously, after testing many products, you sort of build the eye for what products to pick and what products to choose. And obviously, with all my students, I actually help them pick the products. So I'll give them my criteria to find all the products they want, and I'll actually trim off that list and give you the products that I recommend you test, so you don't waste money and time testing products that would not have a chance.
Okay, that's very good. That's really good. That sort of answered my next question. My next question was going to be, what sort of niches wouldn't you recommend? Now, if you actually not endorse, but recommend certain products, then then there are some niches that you would tend to favour, which is very good. So that would then steer me away from negative niches.
Exactly. For example, if a student sent me a product that was just a silver spoon that was gold, I would say not test that product. If a student sent me a product that I've seen saturated, such as the back brace, some motorbike speaker, I would say not test that. If the student sent me like some baby product that would help you monitor your baby and it costs $100, I would recommend against that. So it's pretty product specific. I sort of look at a product and I'm able to say that's not worth testing, and that's sort of just built through experience over just testing hundreds and hundreds of products. So I can't really niche it down, because every niche would have products that would be worth testing and have products that's not worth testing in every single niche, whether it's kitchen, baby, motor, gadgets. Everything would have both test-worthy products and non-test-worthy products.
Okay. So it's more on the type of product, not necessarily the niche.
Exactly.
Yeah, no, that's good. That's good. Now, when we select potential products, how would you recommend to go about testing the products? One of your videos had broad PPE testing and scaling, and I was sort of quite attracted to that video. It was a good introduction for testing of basically green products. There, is that something you'd recommend, or would you have a refinement on that?
Yeah, so on my YouTube channel I teach many different strategies because I want my viewers to have a good taste of all the different strategies they can use. But the strategy that I use and my students use is we go with 6 broad interests. We target worldwide and we go $5 each. And that's sort of our testing strategies. And then I give my students KPIs where, if it hits, I think $2.50 cost per click. If it's over that, kill it. If the cost per add to cart goes above $8, kill it. And then obviously you would then let it run to profit margin, break even point if you had cheap clicks and cheap add to carts. And that's sort of the whole testing strategy. And then I would go more in depth into that, but that's the whole strategy for everyone to sort of implement right now.
Good. Okay, so we've got the product selected, we've got the testing strategy underway, the testing and scaling, and then I'd be looking at expanding, scaling, getting more products, and then would be the good time to take on VAs, I'd imagine. And the VAs that I would expect to take on would help me with product research, order fulfillment, customer service, then possibly some support for advertising content.
Correct. So the moment I get a winning product and it's sort of bringing in a few $100s a day, I'll then go ahead and bring in a customer service rep. So that's the first step. Then I'll also bring in someone for order fulfillment. And then after that, as I sort of scale that product, make a bunch of money, I'll then reinvest the money into hiring someone to help test products and upload products onto my store every single day. So the 2 to 3 products that you're testing every single day, no longer will you do it personally, you would have a virtual assistant do that. And then eventually the next step is you would hire another virtual assistant or train that existing virtual assistant to go ahead and launch the testing ads. And then what would be left for you is for you just to sort of monitor the ads, scale, etc. But then if you eventually want to even grow it further, what you want to have is a right-hand man that is someone probably local in-house that you can basically duplicate yourself onto, and they can manage everything from product research, customer service, order fulfillment, looking after the VAs, scaling. And what's left for you to do is really take a step back and really think of new ideas on how to grow the business. So rather than maintaining everything, you'll take a position of growing, how to grow a brand, how to white label, and that's sort of what you'll transition to. So that's the whole process you're looking at, probably over like 12 months if you're very, very fast.
Just thinking about it, I think I've got my right-hand woman already on the team. So she'll be ready to step up when called upon. So
perfect.
Looking forward to getting to that stage, getting some VAs on board, and then progressing further with that. Now, sort of going forward, it'd be working with some stores and then just generating more stores. And then what about moving into branding? When would the opportune time for that be?
That would happen when you sort of know it. Once you sort of do 1 year of dropshipping successfully, you'll know e-commerce inside out, and then you'll be able to very easily transition into building a brand. A lot of people do the mistake of white labeling a product that is a winner. But what I recommend is you don't do that, because that product will die out over time. What I recommend you to do is white label and create a brand around something that you love and passionate about. That's the best approach, because this is something that you can do with longevity. And after a year of sort of e-commerce, you'll be able to utilize all your experience and put it into building your brand. And then when it comes to building a brand, the approach is way different, but you'll be able to sort of learn it at a much faster pace and with ease. But when it comes to advertising, growing your brand, it's a completely different approach. But you want to do it after you have sort of mastered dropshipping.
Okay. Well, that can be further down the track. I'll look forward to doing something like that as well. Down the track. They're really the main questions that I had for you, Andy. And I think you've given me good answers. You've reinforced some of the things that I've learned from you already. So I feel I've got benefit from the call already. So that's great.
That was the interview. I hope you guys liked it. I enjoyed it. A lot of good questions were asked. I gave all my answers away so you guys could literally copy what I said on that call, because those are all my current strategies that I'm teaching all my private one-on-one students that I go through in my course. So you guys get it all for free. So you can thank Mari for asking those very direct questions. So I highly recommend anyone that's sort of in a similar situation, if you're sort of a parent, if you're sort of in a current trade, but you want to get into e-commerce, but you're a bit worried, definitely watch this interview, because you can definitely relate to Mari, who is someone that has been working sort of the 9-to-5 route for the past few decades, and he wants more out of the later years of his life, and he really wants to take e-commerce seriously. So hopefully you guys enjoyed the interview. Question of the day: what is your thoughts on this interview? Drop your answers below. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the notification bell, like this video, and I just want to thank you guys for watching the daily value that I'm dropping. I just want to thank you for putting your time and energy into watching these videos and making it this far. Like, if you watched through the whole interview, thank you. Hope you guys have an amazing day, and I'll be seeing you guys tomorrow with more value. Peace.